Welcome to Aligned and Abundant, the podcast where authenticity meets practicality, compassion, alignment, and abundance. I'm your host, Christine Marcario, and I help you slow down, become mindful, improve your mental and emotional health, and live life on your highest timeline. Together, we'll talk strategy, life lessons, and share inspiring stories of people who have overcome obstacles, grown through their pain, and risen above adversity. If you are looking for divine inspiration, rooted in love and light, paired with practical tools and encouragement, you are in the right place at the right time. From one heart to another, you are an amazing and divine soul with a purpose. Now take my hand and let's walk this path together. Hello, my loves. Welcome back to the show. Today, we are diving into something that affects every area of your life, your home's energy. I don't know about you, but my home's energy definitely affects me. And it's just really so wild to realize how many correlations there are between your home, its energy, and how it affects you. So today we are not going to be talking about the dust, the dishes, the laundry piles that never end. Today we are going to be talking about the vibration that your space holds. Your home isn't just where you live. It's where you recharge, manifest, dream, relax on your couch, maybe cry, heal, and always come back to yourself. I came across a post the other day, 15 mindset shifts for a more positive you and an uplifting home, and it sparked this idea to have a little bit of a lighter conversation during this heavier season of the holidays and all of the stress that can come with hosting, showing up, having conversations that you might not necessarily want to have, but you have to. And I thought it would be really fun to share. I know that so many of you are trying so hard to grow, heal, manifest, and rise like me, and you're doing it in a space that might be draining your energy. And I can literally speak to this. Sometimes I can literally feel a difference in the way that I can think as I'm driving away from my house. And I'm not to say that my house is all doom and gloom, but sometimes the energy here just feels heavy. And that's why I do practice sage and clearing out the energy of the space. And I also recently saw something more that I'm going to implement myself is opening the back door and asking for any negative energy to leave, in addition to opening the front door and asking for positive energy and blessings, welcoming them in. So that's just a little side piece that I thought was so cool that I saw that I'm definitely going to be trying out. Today, we are going to talk about little shifts that you can do in order to improve the energy of your sacred space, your home. The first one on the list is to recognize that chores are not punishment. They're micro rituals. This one really hit me because sometimes things that we have to do feel cumbersome. But when you think of cleaning like energy alchemy, it really kind of changes your energy around having to tidy up. So instead of saying, I have to clean this mess, think I'm clearing space for my future self. I'm making room for my best thoughts. I'm making space for aligned actions and possibilities to flow in. That just makes cleaning a little bit easier. You're not just wiping a counter or clearing off your dining room table for the 17th time this week. You're creating a space for clarity, spaciousness, and peace to flow in. And it's a 30-second ritual, just changing that thought process in your mind to really have a profound effect on your whole nervous system. The second tip is your home doesn't need to be insta-perfect to be a sanctuary. This is something that was deeply ingrained into my brain for some reason. I feel like I always need to have a perfect, clean home. And honestly, I'm letting that go because I don't even know where that came from. Growing up, I remember walking to my neighbors' houses. We had two very good neighbors who lived down the street, and we would show up whenever the heck we wanted, my mom and I, my brother probably in tow, and they didn't worry about their houses being tidy. Like, they weren't messy per se, but they were lived in. They had stuff kind of all over the place, and it never really mattered. What mattered was the conversations and the care and the love and the openness to just be able to show up and knock on someone's door. If I were to think about someone knocking on my door and just randomly showing up, I'd probably have a mini heart attack. And I have to get to the why behind that. Whenever I would host something at my house, the excitement of actually hosting would be overtaken by planning the cleaning, scrubbing the cabinets and vacuuming the rugs and pulling out the magic eraser to get all the scuffs off the wall. And honestly, it was so draining and exhausting. I actually was going to host something for the New Year's, and I kind of talked myself out of it because I don't want to do the cleaning. So that's why it's so important to work through thinking that your home has to be Insta perfect. And what I mean by Insta perfect is like Instagram worthy, like it's beautiful, it's glorious. And so there's so many things there for me to unpack, but the bottom line is everything online looks like no one actually lives there. That's done on purpose. And it's not real. I mean, at least not in most cases. Okay, there are definitely people out there like Khloe Kardashian who has probably a perfect home. I've never actually been there in person, obviously myself, but again, who knows? Maybe it's all curated and fake, but knowing that she has her OCD and watching her, I would imagine that her house is probably perfect. And I would probably love living there because I like clean. There's a correlation in my brain between a clean space and a peaceful flow of thoughts in my mind. So I don't know. I'm just sharing my thoughts. I just want to tell you that, you know what? Your space is clean enough. Your space is good enough. The people that really love you and care about you, the ones that are actually going to show up to your home, don't give a shit whether or not your house is clean, okay? As long as you are sanitary, right? As long as like your toilet isn't like overflowing with like crap, they're not going to care. They're really not going to care. They're going to love you anyway. I would highly recommend having a clean bathroom when you have company over because that's just politeness. No one wants to go into a dirty bathroom. Trust me, when I was visiting Mexico, one time we were at this forest, this rainforest, which was absolutely stunning. But the crazy thing is the bathroom was literally a hole in the ground. Yes, a hole in the ground. And so from that experience, I will forever be grateful for indoor plumbing. On top of that, there were these crazy bugs that just kept wanting to attack me. And again, I digress. Quick wipe down, a quick sprucing up is an energetic reset in the house. This is about energy, not aesthetics. And what I like to do also is I'll put a timer on. If I am feeling like I don't want to spend a lot of time cleaning, I will put a timer on for 15 minutes and then kind of run around like I'm expecting company as a surprise and I have to spruce up real quick. And that kind of really shifts the energy in a short amount of time. So try it. Why not? Now, here's something that I want to remind you of. Clutter isn't failure. It's feedback. So let's talk about this. Clutter doesn't mean you're lazy. It means something needs more of your attention. Maybe you're overwhelmed. Maybe you're emotionally overloaded. Maybe life has been lifing. I want to tell you, you deserve compassion, not pressure. Okay? I'm sure you're already putting enough pressure on yourself. You deserve compassion. Instead of fighting your clutter, go within yourself and listen to it. Ask, what is this trying to tell me? Because often the answer is that you need support. You need rest. You need some type of structure that matches who I am now. And to be really open and honest, my bedroom still gets really messy. And why? Because I get overwhelmed. And so instead of hanging up all of my laundry, because I like everything hung up in a closet, except for my pajamas, and I want things in a certain order. So it has to be like a tank top down to a hoodie, right? They have to be in order of sleeve length. Y'all don't think I'm crazy, okay? I'm sure some people have it more organized than I do. So to have to put all of my clothes on a hanger and it has to be the right way, the clothes cannot be inside out, and then put them in order from the shortest of sleeves all the way to the longest of sleeves and like the heaviest, and then put my pants on a different hanger. It's a lot of work. And so sometimes I just throw my clothes right onto the floor. Yeah, isn't that crazy? I will throw my beautiful, nice, clean laundry in a pile in the corner of my bedroom. And then when it gets bad enough, I will huff and puff and I will freaking clean it and promise myself that I will not do this again. And probably within 3 weeks, it's back to being messy. But one thing that I've recently been doing is really honestly getting rid of a lot of clothes. They said that there's really a lot of energetic weight of clothes that you think you might fit back into or that you'll wear someday. No, buy clothes for the body you have now and then embrace what you have in your closet. If it doesn't feel good, if it doesn't look good, get rid of it. So I have been purging the last few weeks, and honestly, it feels really good because as I've mentioned in another podcast episode, I oftentimes donate those clothes to a good cause, somewhere that I know or love to trust and believe that someone who really needs those clothes will be able to utilize them. It's also really funny, side note, this just came to my mind. One time I went to Goodwill because I am a thrifter. I do enjoy thrift shopping. And I remember it was like a year later after I had donated a bunch of clothes. Literally, there was like a whole section that was my clothes. Like I knew it was my clothes because I recognized every single piece. And it was like, holy crap, that's so funny. It took a year for my clothes to get on the shelf. That was wild. That's just a whole different separate thought. The bottom line is, ask yourself, what is happening in your space? What is happening in the space of your mind and your body that is resulting in the clutter? Okay. My husband has an area downstairs in our basement. It's his side of the basement, he calls it. And well, he has a lot of stuff there, but he says it's organized collections. Okay. I would say it's clutter. But to each their own. He would probably look in my closet and say, it is a hot mess express in there as far as how many purses I have. So again, is it clutter or is it organized chaos? I don't know. My students used to say, Mrs. Marcario, can we please clean your desk? I'm like, no, it is organized chaos. I know where everything is. Like, Don't worry about it, because sometimes stuff just gets a little messy. But when you sit down and make the time to really get it organized, it does feel really, really good. So just make the time. The funniest thing also that is coming to my mind is I know that when I am stressed or I need to process something in my nervous system, one of the things that I will do is start cleaning. Like, I was laughing to myself the other day because I was talking to someone and there was like a huge like nervous system, like whoosh of energy. And I got off of the phone call and I literally started cleaning. As I'm processing, I was laughing to myself because I'm sitting here like sweeping and picking up all these crumbs. And I'm laughing because I had the thought that I'm like, okay, I went straight to cleaning to regulate my nervous system. So you know what? Go for it. Find out what works for you and just do it. Tip number 4, and repeat after me. My home is allowed to make my life easier. Set things up in a way that supports the version of you who you're becoming, not the version who you're trying to force yourself to be. So again, going back to my closet, I would love having so many things in there. And what I've recently discovered is I want simplicity. I don't need a bunch of different choices to overwhelm me, quite frankly. So I have reduced my closet down to probably a quarter of what I used to have in there. And I'm not going to go so far as to, there used to be like this trend of 30 items in your closet and you just literally wear the same 30 items. I probably couldn't do that because I do like to change things up, but I'm going back to like things that make me feel good, softer clothes, comfy sweatshirts and comfy tanks. Like, yes, sometimes when we're working, we have to wear clothing that might not necessarily feel as good or as comfy, but it should make you feel good. So again, just figure out what feels good to you and allow yourself to do it. Some other things that you could do are put things back after you use them, put things where you actually use them, and create simple systems. Your home can really be a teammate in your healing and manifesting. You have to make it work for you. It's like a partnership, and you have to figure out what works. If putting your shoes by the front door doesn't feel good for you energetically, then take those extra 6 steps to the closet and put them in the closet so that when you're staring at your front door, you don't see a big jumbled pile of dirty shoes. Again, to each their own. Tip number 5, messy doesn't mean bad. Repeat after me. Messy doesn't mean bad. Life gets lifey. Life gets lived in. Your home is a reflection of your humanity, not your worth. You're allowed to have days where the clothes just pile up. You're allowed to have moments where the dishes can wait. You're allowed to be a human with a human home. This is where self-kindness becomes the biggest energy shift of them all. Do not bully yourself into thinking that you have to constantly do in order to impress who? The imaginary person that's probably not coming over? Your mother-in-law who's going to complain about how your house looks anyway? Guys, give yourself some grace, okay? Tip number 6, make your home feel like you. Not Pinterest, not Instagram, not what you think you should. Your home is the backdrop of your personal expansion and growth. You're allowed to buy the $25 candle because it makes you feel cozy. You're allowed to add soft lighting. You're allowed to bring in plants, seasonal blankets, a splash of color, the tchotchke that makes you smile, whatever makes your soul sigh in relief because you feel so good. I love little twinkle lights. So starting from now until probably February, I'm going to have my lights up, meaning the lights that go up my stairwell. I will probably keep those up until February because I just love when it's like dark at night and you can dim down the lights and put those little twinkle lights on. It's just so mood setting. And then put a candle on that smells really, really good. Pure relaxation, even if your kitchen is a goddamn disaster because your living room is your sanctuary. So those little details change everything. And if you're like me, you love a good run to Home Goods, TJ Maxx, Home Sense, wherever you shop to get your cozy little home trinkets. Tip number 7, and this is going to be the last one that I leave you with. Start where you are. It is enough. You do not need a full renovation or a $600 trip to Home Goods to shift your home's vibe. Start where you are. Start with what you have. Start with one drawer, one corner of the house that's collecting clutter, one surface. Each one represents a moment of care. You are putting your time, energy, and effort into that one space. And if we keep doing that on repeat, these tiny shifts are going to create massive energy changes. And I want to remind you again that your home doesn't need perfection. Perfection is not real. It needs presence. It needs to be your space, a space that feels really good to you. If you want an orange accent wall in your bedroom, go for it. Who the heck cares? If that's what's going to make you feel good in that space, do it. Why not? Paint is paint. You can repaint something. Do not be afraid to make your home your home. I want you to remember that your home is a mirror of your future self. When you shift your space, you shift your vibration. And when you shift your vibration, you shift your reality. So a home that feels nurturing supports more clarity coming in, more creativity, more emotional space, more abundance, more alignment, and the future that you're stepping into. This is why a 5-minute tidy up can change your whole day. This is why one cleared corner can bring instant mental freedom. And this is why good enough is not only enough, it's powerful. So here's your invitation for today. Pick one thing, one small shift, one micro reset. Maybe it's finally pulling out that junk drawer and really going through it and getting rid of whatever you don't actually need. Maybe it's one loving action. I just recently put a candle in my bathroom and it's made a big difference. I don't light it every single day, but when I do, it just feels a little extra relaxing. So this is my invitation to you to let it be easy. Let it be fun cleaning up and sprucing up your place. This is your reminder that your home is your sanctuary and your energy is your power. And you are creating a life that supports you on every level. So make your home a beautiful space where you can rest, relax, recharge, and create. I hope you loved this episode, and if you did, share it with someone who you think could benefit from hearing some of these tips and tricks. And if you decide to clean one of your spaces or decorate it in a new fun way, send me a before and after and tag me on Instagram. I'd love to see the creative energy in motion. Until next time, do not get in your head about your space. Love the space that you're in, because you, my friend, will always be the best thing in your space, and you can make it beautiful, just like you. If you've been feeling the pull for deeper transformation, real, lasting change that starts from within, I'd love to invite you into transformational one-on-one coaching with me. This is where alignment becomes your new normal. You'll get 4 90-minute sessions at an introductory offer of $600, designed to help you release what's holding you back, reconnect with your truth, and step into the next version of yourself, fully and unapologetically. You can book your sessions through the link in my bio. Just tap my link tree to get started. Your next breakthrough is closer than you think, and I'd love to be a part of your journey.